Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going to be reading through an article by Asahi Shimbun, or put in Asahi Shimbun. And it's funny, I just kind of read these articles for my own study, a lot of vocab practice. And so I'll just click on the top story. And the last few stories I've been picking haven't been very nice. And today's not a very nice story either. But anyway, it's some good Japanese practice. So let's get into it. 今日は27日6月2019年 Alright, as always, this Google Doc you can see on screen. I'll just go to this link here and you can view it yourself. So you can copy the words, there's some grammar, and also there's a link to the article as well. So let's get started. 父に罵倒され、僕は壊れた。家庭内暴力に向いた怒りの形。So underneath our headline here, we have 有料会員限定記事. Alright, so 有料, this is means there's a fee or a charge, so basically kain, so 有料kain, basically people who have a membership with Asahi Shimbun, right? Gente, so limited to kiji, an article, okay? So this is a Shimbun no kiji, newspaper article. And then we have the kind of tag, I guess. We have Hikikomori no Readthrough. Now, Hikikomori, this is kind of what this article is about, but a Hikikomori is kind of, I would just get you to do your own research, but it's kind of my understanding is it's a bit of a phenomenon that started in Japan, and although it has seemingly spread to some other countries as well, particularly South Korea, and I believe China, but it kind of happens all around the world. But Hikikomori, this is basically someone who, for whatever reason, doesn't leave generally their room, or at least doesn't leave the house. And there's a few reasons for this, and we'll see that this article, the reason why this person became hikikomori, well, according to him anyway, is that he had a very rough childhood, and particularly his father had a lot of problems, some issues with kind of pressures on him to get into university and things like this. And so then he ended up spending quite a few years, 10 years, he thinks, approximately 10 years as a hikikomori. Now, I've watched a few documentaries and things on hikikomori, and I would really just recommend you go look at it. But generally these people, they just sit in the room, just sleep, read books, sit on the, obviously sitting on the computer. A lot of these people do this, and then generally they'll either order food in, or what's more kind of common, I think, is they're still living with their parents. So their parents will, basically just leave food outside their room. There's all kinds of hikikomori, but that's basically what a hikikomori is, right? And then Readthrough is, reality. Okay, so it's like the reality of being a hikikomori. So, and then we have our henshu in. So this is the editors committee kind of thing. And then we've got our guy's name here. So let's open this up. Okay, so once we've got to the writer's profile, we see that his name isn't written out here in hiragana. So I'll show you some techniques to try and find how to read people's names. So the first thing you want to do is you want to check out anything, generally a Wikipedia page that might be up, because generally it'll be written in hiragana. Okay, but here we've got a link to Twitter. So I'll bring this up, and when we look at his Twitter, we see we're not really getting much here. Got his name again in kanji, but then we see we've got a tag here, and we see we got Ta Kiyokawa. So Kiyokawa, maybe you can recognize Kawa. We go, okay, well, this is probably his surname, and yeah, this is Kiyo. This kanji means kind of purity or something, kind of a common kanji for names. And for example, if you guys have ever been to Kyoto, there's Kiyomizu-dera. So there's a famous temple. So that's his name. But then we've only got Ta, so this is not quite enough. So I think, what's the next thing we do? Well, we could look for the Wikipedia page, but generally, I was kind of thinking, well, he's not a super big celebrity, maybe. This was just my guess, so maybe he doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. So I didn't really bother even looking for it. So the next thing I do is you just go to your search engine and you just search for namae yomi. Okay, just do a search for this and you'll get a whole bunch of websites which will help you read Japanese names. Okay, so I just went to the top result, and this is called yomikatawa.com, and put the name in, search for it, and it's given us a result. And yeah, again, we have Kiyokawa, so that's kind of expected. And then we see Takashi. Okay, Takashi. So now we've got his name. So this is just one way to find a Japanese name in case you want to. All right, and then we can see that this article, 2019年6月25日. Okay, so we'll just continue reading the article and then we'll go through and translate it afterwards. 追い詰められ、壊れた心を表現するには、ああするしかなかった。約10年間の引きこもり経験がある30代の男性が、自身の家庭内暴力の体験を語りました。怒りの底にあった心の痛み、子供の将来を懸念する親のそばから見るのとは違う。家庭内暴力の断面が浮かび上がってきます。大学受験きっかけに。引きこもったのは大学受験がきっかけだった。浪人中に絶対に合格しなければと自分を追い込むうち、心に変調をきたした。ひどい時はベッドから起き上がれず、張ってトイレに行く日も。そのうち近所の人の目が怖くなり、深夜や未明にしか外出できなくなった。引きこもりは断続的に30代前半まで続いた。長期化するにつれ、親子の確執は抜き差しならないものになった。記憶から消えないのは数年前。現役時代は大手企業に勤めていた父親から、お前は将来はホームレスだという言葉を投げつけられたことだ。Not particularly, not a very uplifting article. It's talking about some sad things here, but it's kind of good. This article is good for Japanese practice though, because we do have basically a first person's point of view. Okay, this guy is telling his story about what this situation was like for him, and learning how to talk about your feelings and the experiences you go through. This takes a little bit of practice in Japanese, because it's not really where you start learning Japanese from. Generally, you're describing things and talking about it, but to kind of talk about feelings and how you felt about things, your opinions on things, this was definitely a bit more of an advanced thing in Japanese. So let's start from our headline. So we've got 父に罵倒され. Now, this word is in our word list, but bato, it's pretty harsh criticism. It's kind of like verbal abuse if you want to think about it that way. 僕は壊れた. So basically, 壊れる, this is to break something. So 僕は壊れた. So I was broken. 家庭内暴力. So this is domestic violence. So 家庭内, within the household, and 暴力, this is violence. So 家庭内暴力. In Japanese, you can also say DV, right? Shortening of domestic violence, DV. But both these terms are used pretty interchangeably. This is a bit more formal though. 家庭内暴力に向いた怒りの形. Okay, now something ni muita, this comes from ni muku, so to kind of face towards or to head towards. Ikari no katachi, alright? It's like the form of the rage or the form of the anger. Some form of rage, so people do certain things, and this leads to domestic violence. Alright, so 追い詰められ、壊れた心を表現するには、ああするしかなかった. So I've extracted this part of the sentence into the Google Doc here, and we're going to use it to just kind of examine the grammar that's being used. So in this grammar, we can see we've got a shika nakatta coming at the end here. Now, this is dake in shika. This is probably an N4 or so grammar point. And we're not going to look at dake, but dake means that's all there is and nothing else. But here, shika, it's we see that it must be used to indicate the lack of everything else. And so the rest of the sentence must always be negative, and that's why we have this nakatta here. So if all we really do is we add shika to the word that we're saying there is only of. I mean, it can be a verb, noun, whatever, it doesn't really matter. But we got matsu shika nai. So the only thing that can be done, and then there's a lack of everything else, is matsu. All right, so all I can do is wait. All we can do is wait, you know. So, for example, you know, you're waiting for something, I don't know, waiting for a package, right? Some postal, something coming in the post. You know, nothing you do is really going to speed that process up. So, matsu shika nai. Okay, we just got to wait. Anata shika inai. Okay, so, you know, I only have you. There's only you and there's nothing else apart from anything else. Kind of a bit of a love story or something here. And 今日はパーティーだけどビールが1本しかないよ. Alright, so as for today, it's the party, but ビールが1本. So one beer, しかないよ. So we only have one beer and there's nothing else. So generally when you hear shika, you want to think of some kind of scarcity of something, right? You basically want more of the thing that you don't have much of. Now, Taekim's got a really good summation of all this on his website, so this is the link you can go to, and I'd really recommend you check that one out. So we think, well, what's happening in this sentence here? Well, we've got suru shika nakatta, and then suru is to kind of be exasperated. You're like, this kind of thing, right? It's just kind of the noise you make in Japanese when you're really annoyed with something. So, oitsumerare, this is kind of like to be driven into a corner, to kind of be hurted. Kowareta kokoro, or hyogen suru ni wa. And so, you know, because of the abuse and like kind of pretty harsh criticism, it sounds like he received from his parents, and I think particularly his father, it's kind of really caused him some mental anguish here. You know, he's having some, he feels kind of herded into a corner kind of thing. And he's saying, you know, I've got a wounded heart kind of thing. You know, you've really hurt me with saying these things. Hyogen suru ni wa. So to kind of express that it's like, hey, you know, I'm really not feeling good about this pain and this suffering. Suru shika nakatta. So he was only able to go, like just kind of cry out in kind of frustration or exasperation, because for whatever reason, it seems like even if he did show these feelings, he wasn't getting much sympathy from his parents, or they didn't care, or whatever the case may be. It's kind of hard to tell from this part of the article, but he didn't really have much to do. So he was kind of, the feelings weren't getting any better. Let's put it that way. Okay, so 約10年間の引きこもり経験がある. So we got a bit of a kind of a clause. So there is an experience of hikikomori of about 10 years. 30代の男性が. So we got an anonymous guy here, a guy in his 30s. 自身の家庭内暴力の体験を語りました. So 語ります is to like tell a story. And 体験, so 家庭内暴力の体験. So notice here, this is a mistake I often hear with people who are kind of about N4 level or so, is misunderstanding the difference between taiken and keiken. Now there is a little bit of overlap here, but when we're dealing with this tai here, all right, this tai, we're talking about a body. All right, so this is generally, a taiken is like a physical experience, whereas a keiken is some kind of non-physical experience. So like, you know, memories and you know, going to like on traveling to a country, and like your memory of that travel would be more of a keiken. But taiken, well, we're talking about katenai boryoku here, right? So there's probably some physicality involved. So he's kind of giving his retelling of the physical experience of katenai boryoku. 怒りの底にあった心の痛み. Now, soko, this is the depths of something, the absolute bottom of something. So, 怒りの底にあった心. So, the pain of my heart that was kind of at the bottom of rage. Okay, this is often what happens, you know, if you can't really have this pain, this rage, this anger in your heart without some accompanying pain. So it's realizing that is tricky, because it's very hard to let go of the anger, because the pain is there and the pain makes you more angry. So it can be a bit hard to extract yourself if you're not realizing this is happening. So 子供の将来. So this is the children's future. So this is obviously the parents' point of view talking about the hikikomori. を懸念する、親のそばから見るのとは違う. So it's different when looking at it from the parents' point of view. And 将来を懸念する is to have concern. So the parents are kind of looking at their child and kind of, being very concerned about what's happening with my child's future. And it's different from that. 家庭内暴力の断面が浮かび上がってきます. So a 断面 is a cross section of something. So 家庭内暴力の断面, it's like, well, you're kind of looking at 家庭内暴力 from a cross section and kind of looking at it from a different perspective. が浮かび上がってきます. And this cross section, this way of looking at something, kind of bubbles up to the surface, floats up to the surface. So we got 大学受験きっかけに. So 大学受験, this is the exam you take to get into university in Japan. 受験, all right? And きっかけ is, it's kind of like the start of something. So it's kind of like, this is the thing, this is like the catalyst, I guess, but there was a few other problems leading up to this situation, but the thing which really got the problems happening is we have the daigaku juken. Okay, so it's not like this is the only thing that started it all off, but this was kind of this was like the final straw, I guess, which started this whole thing. So hikikomotta no wa. So we see that hikikomori before in the article, that's a noun. And hikikomoru is to actually the verb, right? To shut yourself away. So hikikomotta, so it's an u verb that just ends in ru. So hikikomotta no wa, so as for when I kind of shut myself away, daigaku juken ga kikkake datta. So he's just repeating what I just said in the headline. This word, so this word here, ronin chu. So it's in the word list, but a ronin is, it's got a meaning of, it used to be a samurai without a master. But now it means someone who takes this juken, okay, takes this university exam, but then fails, all right, doesn't get in. And so then they have to wait a year until they can take it again next year. And so you've got kind of a year where you just have to study even more and try and learn more things and then have another chance at it. So while he was, so basically this tells you that he took the juken but failed. And so then he was having to go for it again. And so then during this period, ronin chu, okay, during this period of being a ronin, 絶対に合格しなければ. Okay, so here's our permissions thing. We've just done a video. I just did a video on this a few days ago. But 絶対に, so absolutely, 合格しなければ. So I must pass this juken this time. と、自分を追い込むうち. Now, 追い込む, again, this kind of means to herd someone somewhere, to kind of, kind of shut in. So, うち, during this period, 心に返上をきたした. Now, this phrase again is in the word list, but 心に返上. So basically having a change of heart, をきたした. So he brought about a change of heart. ひどい時はベッドから起き上がれず. So ひどい時. So he's kind of saying in the worst of times, when I really was getting sucked into this kind of hikikomori situation, ひどい時は, so the worst times はベッドから起き上がれず. So he wasn't even able to get out of bed. はってトイレに行く日も. Now, I've got to admit, I'm a little bit confused by this, and I was hoping to check with a Japanese person, but I never got around to it. But from what I can tell, はって is to crawl. So はってトイレに行く日も. So it kind of makes sense. He's kind of rolling out of bed and then crawling to the toilet. I'm not super sure if that's correct though, so don't quote me on that, but I believe that's what that says. そのうち近所の人の目が怖くなり、そのうち近所の人の目が怖くなり. So again, let's take a look at our Google Doc, and we've got a bit of an explanation of this grammar in here. Okay, so I've extracted this part of the article. So again, we've got そのうち近所の人の目が怖くなり、深夜や未明にしか外出できなくなった. So the bit we're focusing on is going to be here, and then we're going to look at this bit in a second. But for now, it's this. So we see kowaku nari. Now this is made up of two parts. We got kowai and then naru. Now I've done a whole video on this. It's called Doing Well in Year 12 Exams, and it's one of the areas I look at. And it's definitely a threshold that you have to be able to understand this grammar if you want to do well in Year 12 exams, of course, or about JLPT N4 probably. You want to be able to understand this pretty well. And I think the main reason that this is confusing is that Japanese, normally when we do our conjugations, right, when we change things to the past form or whatever, the rules are different for verbs, and then they're different again for nouns and adjectives, and they're different again for adjectives. But in this case, they are all kind of the same or a very similar rule. So it's a bit confusing. I mean, that's really it. So you just got to kind of recognize that, and then I think that makes this a lot easier. So what's going on here? Well, the first instance, we're just making an adverb. All right, we're using this adjective, in this case an e-adjective, to describe the verb. So how do we do that? Well, with e-adjectives, we change the e to a ku, and then we put it on the verb. Okay, so it became scary. Okay, it became scary. So when we think about this part of the sentence, そのうち, so during that time, 近所の人の目, so basically the eyes of the people who live in the neighborhood where this Hikikomori person is, が, they're the thing that, 怖くなり, becomes scary. Okay, so, this guy, as he's kind of, the longer he is a hikikomori, he starts getting, I don't know if paranoid is the right word, but he starts wanting to avoid the other people in his neighborhood who see him and kind of wonder what he's doing, I guess, by being stuck in shut in his room all the time. So that's the first one, right? It's just an adverb, really. The second bit, we've got 深夜や未明にしか外出できなくなった. Okay, so what are we doing here? Well, できなくなった. Here we're trying to join two things. できない, so unable to do, and なる. Now, if you want to join two verbs in Japanese, we've got a few options, but the one that has happened here is we've put ku followed by なる. So again, this is why it's confusing, because the rule for this is like, well, all negatives end in e, and so we change the e to a ku, and then we add naru. So, 外出ができない, unable to go outside. 外出できなくなった. It's become so that I can no longer go outside. All right, so this kind of like a timeline, right? This person was able to go outside, and then as they were kind of being a hikikomori for longer and longer and longer, then they found that they couldn't, or they could no longer go outside anymore. Okay, so it's like a change in state. All right, so the last little bit here. Hikikomori wa danzoku teki ni 30代前半まで続いた. So it continued until my early, zenhan is the first half, 30代前半, so the first half of the early 30s. Danzoku teki ni, so this is intermittently. So danzoku is intermittent. And then when we say teki ni, normally teki, we're going to add ly, and ni kind of turns it into an adverb as well. Not really, but again, take him's explanation on this. But danzoku teki ni, so intermittently, as for my hikikomori, right? So I was a hikikomori intermittently well into my, basically almost to my mid-30s, all right? On and off. So it's not like he's every single day, but maybe for years at a time he does it and then stops it for a few months. So, but then we see a little bit more detail here. So, 長期化するにつれ. Now, 長期化, this is in the word list, but 長期化 is lengthening of something. All right. So, whenever we see this bakeru kanji on the end here, All right, this is bakeru, which is to change into something. Just remember, this kanji is in the word for kesho. So just think about why that's in there. And choki, this is a, nagai, a long. Ki is basically a period, a time period. So choki, a long period. And we can have tanki, which is a short period. Choki, tanki. And choki ka, so the change into a long period. So lengthening. So choki ka suru ni tsure. Now again, this is in the word list, but tsure is to be kind of brought along with or to be taken along. So choki ka suru, as it lengthens, ni tsure. So it's like you're being pulled along with it, right? So what we can tell now is that when he started the Hikikomori, maybe he just stayed in his room for a day or 2 days. And then as it kind of, it all kind of compounds and he starts staying in his room longer and longer and longer. So that's what the lengthening is referring to. And of course, as he stays in his room for longer and longer and longer, it becomes harder and harder for him to really to have the, I don't know what word you'd even use, but maybe the mental kind of courage, I guess, or the capacity to pull himself out of this situation. And so as the time kind of lengthens on, this brings with it more problems. So that's what this tsure is doing here. So as it lengthens, then oyako no kakushitsu. So oyako, parent and child, all right, no kakushitsu. And this is I had to look this up, but this is a feud, all right? So basically the ongoing fight wa nukisashi naranai mono. Now, again, this is in the word list. Anyway, nukisashi naranai. So basically, mono ni natta. It became the thing that nukisashi naranai. You just can't get out of it. It's like a sticky situation. It's all just kind of feeding itself, The reason one of the reasons he gets into kind of hikikomori mode is he's having this conflict with his parents. And so he doesn't really want to deal with them anymore. And he's in his room. And then the longer he's in his room, the parents are getting even kind of angrier at him. And like, oh, what are you doing? You're making it even worse now. And so he knows it's getting worse. He stays in his room and it's just, choki ka tsuru ni tsure. It just keeps, it's like, I guess it's a positive feedback loop, right? It just keeps increasing itself off into the distance. Kyoku kara kienai no wa? So, kyoku kara kienai. So, what I can't erase from my memory, kienai. No wa sune mae. So, several years earlier. Geneki jidai. Now, geneki jidai, again, I'm not super confident on what this is referring to, but it seems to be when you are taking the juken, right? So this exam while you're still in high school. Okay, so as far as I can tell, this seems kind of normal, but basically when he's in the final year of high school and taking the exam. So what? So as for when I'm in this period, ote kigyo. All right, so ote, this is a big company maybe like Samsung or probably use a Japanese example, Sony or something like that, right? Like a very big corporation, kigyo ni tsutomete ita chichi oya kara. So basically, his dad was working in some kind of bigwig position, right? Working for a very big company at the least. So there's, this is probably putting a lot of pressure on the father. So chichikara, I'll get it right eventually. So from my dad, who was working at a big company at the time, omae wa, so kind of rude. So as for you, shourai wa, as for your future, homeless da. All right, you'll be homeless. Okay, not a very nice thing to say. Homeless da. という言葉を投げつけられたことだ. Okay, and という言葉, so these types of phrases, or 投げつけられた. So basically, it's like he was throwing this verbal abuse at his son, right? It's like, you're going to be homeless, blah, 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 blah. つけられたことだ. All right, so this is the thing he can't erase from his mind. It's basically the abuse he was getting from his father. So, okay, like I said, not a great article to brighten your day up, but this is the reality of Japanese society, and it's a lot of pressure that's put on a lot of people, and you end up with this hikikomori. It's a very common news item. Let's just put it that way. So at the end here, now the article does go on, but like I said, it's a subscription one, so I don't know what else it's going to talk about. What have we got here? 公的な相談先として、引きこもり地域支援センターが全都道府県と指定市にあります。また、KH 全国引きこもり家族会連合会のホームページには、全国の家族会の連絡先一覧が掲載されています。Okay, so we have kind of, this is dealing with a serious issue, and we've got a kind of a community organization, a Japanese organization which gives support to hikikomori, the families and the basically the hikikomori themselves. So, 公的な相談先として, so this is a public counseling, right? 相談 is to counsel or to consult with someone, and 相談先 is the place where you can consult. として、引きこもり地域支援センター. So we've got the center for support, regional support for hikikomori. All right. So what's this? Well, 全都道府県. So this is our administrative areas of Japan. We've got our Tokyo 都、北海道、大阪府、京都府, and then everything else is the kens. So basically every area of Japan. 都指定市. So selected cities. Specified cities, maybe a better word. So 指定市にあります. Okay, so saying, well, there's a place that you can go and get help if you're having this problem with hikikomori. また、全国引きこもり家族会連合会. So we have a website here, KHJ-H, and this is again a family committee. Basically, again, hikikomori help service. All right, so that's kind of a I don't want to say alliance, but it's just an organization, really. It's a linking of families who are affected by this, and you can kind of help and support each other. So you can see where all these meetings are held, and again, their contact details, ichiran. All right, so it's basically all there on a page. が掲載されています. It's been put up there. So basically saying, hey, go to this website, check it out. If you're having issues with this, there's some help nearby. You can contact these people, and they can help you. Okay, so that's the end of this one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope this helped. A lot of not particularly there's a few difficult words in here for sure, but it does touch on some areas about Japanese society that is worth being aware of. So juken is a big one. You can read about juken senso and this kind of thing. It has changed a lot for the better, but there is still a lot of pressure on people to perform. And also it's kind of talking about this hikikomori phenomenon, which I'm not too sure what the recent numbers are like, but it is definitely still a societal issue that Japan is trying to deal with. So thanks a lot, guys. Leave a like if you found this video informative and helped with your Japanese. Had some good grammar in here as well, so it's good to revise that. And notice that these articles tend to rely very heavily on vocabulary. There is very few grammar points, but I did try to point some of them out in this video. All right, see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Mother lover, you gon' love this. Graduated from a rebel to a revolutionary in my area, they love this. I'ma wreck it like I'm revving the engine, heaven's ascension, every dimension, give me attention. Look at my soul, look at my heart, look at my hope. Got the world on my back, but I carry it though. Tell him God got my hand, I ain't letting it go. I came from the side of the ocean.